Welcome back. My name's Steve and thank you for joining me today on my photography journey. Today I'm going to have an initial look at the Nikon 70 to 200mm VR S 2.8 aperture lens. It's a constant aperture throughout that zoom range, which is very impressive. On the Nikon website, let's have a quick look. It is currently available for £2,200. It's a lens that I've heard a lot about. Other photographers talk about it as being a very sharp, very good lens for taking landscape pictures. And I want to see myself. I've got my 24 to 200, which I use all the time. It's probably my most used lens, but that is an f5 to 6.3, so a completely different range. But when I'm taking landscape pictures, I generally use f9, which both of the lenses can do. So what's the difference? What is the difference between these two very differently priced, very differently sized lenses? And that is what we're going to look at today. Renting camera equipment is something that I've never done before. It's something that I've always heard people talk about. People say that it's a good idea to do it because it means you can try things out. You can test new bits of equipment without having to spend a fortune every time you want to try something new. The way that this came about, I saw a great offer with Wex Rental in the UK. Wex is a company that I bought lots of things from before. So I bought my Rodecaster Pro, I've bought various other bits and pieces from them. And I know it's a company that I like, and I've never rented anything from them before, but I thought this was a perfect opportunity. They had an offer where you could rent something from the 21st of December right through to the 2nd of January for the cost of like a couple of days. I think because their offices were closed in that kind of Christmas, New Year period, so there was no one there to return it to. So this was a perfect opportunity. So I wanted to rent the Nikon Z8 camera. And with that, I wanted to be able to test it out with video, photo and everything like that. They didn't have any. So after a bit of backwards and forwards, they were really helpful. It was nice and easy to be able to talk to someone. We did it all by email, went through a list of what equipment they had available, and I chose this lens. This lens, in fact, which is my close-up right now. And it's a lens that I would never have dreamed of buying on its own, so it's fantastic to be able to rent it. As I said, everything was organised by email, so it was nice and straightforward to do. I phoned up, paid a deposit, and organised delivery, collection, and it all came without any problems at all. It was pretty well packaged. That was the first thing that I noticed, and unpacking all of that, it made it clear that sending it back would be nice and straightforward as well. The courier was already organised, all the packing material was here, so I just need to find somewhere to keep that for a couple of weeks and then return it all without any problems. So this is kind of my first impressions of the lens, what it looks like, what it does, how it compares to other lenses that I've got, and then I'll take it out, I'll take more pictures, and then we'll look in more detail at some of those pictures and have a look, have a comparison and see whether it's something that I would like to invest in the future. And I think the biggest thing is how big it is, how different it is compared to my 24 to 200mm f5 to 6.3. And so here it is. This is the 24 to 200, the 70 to 200, and here is the 35mm f1.8 as well. So it's significantly bigger. It's bigger than a lens with a wider range of focal lengths. It's bigger than a lens with a wider aperture. But the combination seems to make it an enormous heavy lens. So I don't know why that is. That is something that I need to research, and that is a video that will be coming soon. So subscribe so that you can find out when I actually make that one. There are lots of options on the lens itself. As you can see, we've got 3 different rings that we can turn. So we've got focus, we've got zoom, and then this one which is customizable. So I've got it set to aperture at the moment. We have got 2 different function buttons which I can customize in the menu, and it's also got this tripod collar head which you can switch around, which I think will be really useful for taking landscape or portrait pictures and being able to just move everything around, have the lens collar on the tripod, and then just twist the camera around to be able to go easily from landscape orientation to portrait orientation. So one of the things that I wanted to test was its video performance. So at the moment on my Z30, which is this camera right here, I have my 35mm f1.8 lens filming in 4K. Obviously it's the APS-C size sensor, the DX sensor, so there is a 1.5 times crop on there, so 35mm is actually about 50mm. And next to that, on my Z5, also filming in 4K, so giving it a 1.7 times crop, is the 70-200 2.8, and this is at 70, and this is as good as I can get it in here. I don't have a huge amount of space. I can't put it any further away, so this is the view. This is the field of view that you get with this camera. But I wanted to compare the two, see what the difference is in the aperture, so 1.8 versus 2.8, the quality of the glass, and everything like that, just to see how good the actual lens is itself for what I use it for. And it's generally these videos in my office that I would be recording video with. So this is a bit of a side-by-side comparison of the two, and I hope it gives us a bit of information about which one is sharper, which one's clearer, which one is the better lens to use. I think I'm going to go with the 35mm, mainly because of the field of view, because you can kind of see everything in the frame rather than just my head on this one. I want to go out and take lots of pictures with this lens, so I'm going to take it into the forest, going to go somewhere that I don't really go that often, but just spend a couple of hours wandering around, taking pictures of different things, different focal lengths, different apertures, and see what it's like to actually use the lens. I don't think the size of it is going to be too big of a problem. It's one of those things that, yes, it is definitely bigger, but I don't think it's significantly bigger for kind of carrying around for a couple of hours. But obviously, I will report back on that one. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you again next week on my photography journey. Bye.